Lose the funeral face. You're not going there to die. You're going there to save this family.
Save this family? Or save your bank account?
Such a pity. This necklace was meant for the daughter who actually has value.
Take off my mother's necklace.
You're marrying a monster tonight. You still think you get to say her name?
Your father finally did one smart thing before he died.
You drove him to his death.
After tonight, you're either Mrs. Blackthorne or trash without a grave. Bride, step out. The master is waiting.
The last two fiancés disappeared. Not disappeared, eaten.
A worthless girl like her is perfect monster feed.
By blood be sworn, by marriage be bound.
Where is the groom? Sign. Now.
You're finally here. The bride who actually came to kill me.
Then you'd better not disappoint me.
You are not to leave the West Wing without permission. From tonight on, this is your room.
Are you always this hospitable to every bride?
Not every bride is worth warning.
Surveillance locks isolation. Bridal suite? No. Observation cell.
What exactly are you looking for?
My husband.
You weren't afraid at the altar. You're not here to be eaten.
Maybe I'm the one here to devour.
You hate this marriage. Yet you came anyway. Why?
Because my mother died in this house. I want who killed her. You want who turned you into their monster. We use each other.
What makes you think you can bargain with me?
Because I didn't scream. And I didn't run.
If you're lying, I'll end you myself.
If you lie to me, I'll do it first.
I thought the monster had chewed you down to the bone already.
Sorry to disappoint you. I'm doing just fine.
She's never had much grace. Luckily, the Blackthorns are generous enough to tolerate her.
Mr. Dorian, such a shame we didn't get a proper introduction last night.
I dislike redundant introductions.
To my poor sister. Useless her whole life, useful exactly once.
Mr. Heiress. Perfect timing. I found a very interesting transfer authorization last night. Nice for diction. Shame about the date. Father was in the ICU that day.
That's a lie!
Should I keep going? Including the part where you moved Father's jewelry into your own name? Wasn't that the first wife's heirloom?
She's emotionally unstable.
The books are unstable, not me.
Blackthorn Manor does not welcome guests who arrive with forged documents.
This manor does not permit public hysteria.
He didn't kill me. These aren't rumors. They're testimonies.
I warned you not to wander where you don't belong.
This place is full of things you refuse to look at.
What exactly are you trying to uncover?
My mother did not die of illness. She died here. I didn't come to marry, I came to dig up a grave. You recognize this handwriting, don't you?
That's impossible. After the ritual, everything was destroyed.
Seal the doors! Someone entered the Forbidden Wing!
Lock every passage. No one leaves this house tonight.
Are you going to hand me over?
If they find you tonight, you'll die worse than the last two brides.
Search properly. Brides do not vanish into thin air.
What you said means you know what happened to them.
I know one thing. I did not eat them.
Then who made sure every death landed on your name?
The most dangerous thing in this manor was never the rumor.
Then we work together. You don't trust me, I don't trust you, but neither of us is dying stupid.
In public, you stay the pitiful bride they shipped in.
And in private?
In private, you find me ledgers, names, and old maps. In return, I keep you alive.
Sounds like marriage.
Thank God. I thought you lost your mind last night.
I was only lost. She gets lost in her own marital wing. Impressive.
Rosalie needs rest. No one disturbs her again without cause.
The East Wing is entered only by day. Be out before sunset.
What's in there?
Names. Too many hidden names. If you see your mother on the wall, don't stop.
Bride intake.
Be out before sunset.
They look like tombstones. Mother. She wasn't a guest. She was written in.
The inheritance declaration cannot be delayed. The second stage must proceed.
You do love calling crime a ritual.
If the curse destabilizes, the entire estate goes down with it.
Is it the estate that dies or the profit you buried in those contracts?
Some doors, once opened, never close again.
Priests browse portrait galleries now.
I prefer memory.
They knew each other.
Far earlier than you imagine. Earlier than you were even born.
Are you trying to frighten me or warn me?
People who learn too much rarely live to the inheritance declaration.
Dressed like that, you look like temporary staff.
Vivian only cares about preserving the dignity of Blackthorn.
This tea set is dated. Replace it. If she can't run this house, someone should learn for her. Of course. As long as you don't mind everyone seeing whether you came as a guest or a thief. You should recognize this. You copied it last night.
I was never in here!
Same hand, repeated tracing along the seal edge, steady hand too.
She forged a will?
She trespassed in the master's study, forged a copy of the will, and tried to insert herself into the Blackthorn succession line.
I belong here more than you ever will!
Oh? Then tell me. Were you trying to replace my wife or my name?
Vivian is simply young and impulsive.
Blackthorn Manor has no shortage of impulsiveness. What it lacks is shame.
You think you won? Your mother back then?
Vivian, enough!
What about my mother?
She wasn't a victim, she asked for it.
So you do know how she died? She said my mother asked for it. Explain.
A dead woman is not worth ruining your marriage over.
She may be worth ruining yours.
The archive is in the North Tower mesothone. Many pages were rebound. The original stitch marks remain.
You're helping me willingly now.
I dislike having my memory curated for me.
This was altered. Her name was entered here, and then cut out.
That means she wasn't an outsider. She was already inside the succession process.
So they sent me here not only because of the will. They were afraid I already had standing.
Open the door. No one should be in the archives tonight. New mistress. Tampering with family records is a grave offense.
The blood moon approaches. Any sacrilege may awaken what sleeps.
Are you afraid I desecrate the records or understand them?
Rosalie Wynne, for violating the family registry and disturbing the curse, is to be held in isolation until the night of the blood moon.
Who signed it?
The manor requires order, and you require clarity.
If I die, that page goes public anyway.
Let corruption be revealed. Let the curse return to its cage.
You really do love giving murder a choir.
You only had to keep quiet, marry him, and bring the money home.
Shame. I take after my mother.
Then you'll end exactly like her.
Not headstones. More like intake marks. Not him.
You are not to go near her. She will push you into total collapse.
Or will she simply destabilize your lie?
If she dies by your hand tonight, everything returns to order.
You truly want to hear her scream.
They weren't marrying brides into this house. They were processing them.
The hour has come.
Stay away from me.
If you wanted me dead, you could have done it in the hidden compartment.
You don't understand. I can't control it tonight.
My mother wrote one line. The monster is not him. You didn't kill her. You were just the cage they built to hold the blame.
Look at me! Look at me! Look at me. Not at them. Look at me.
Why is she still alive? She made him stop.
You know why I'm not afraid? Because I didn't come here to be sacrificed.
What are you?
Maybe the only one who can pull you back from them. There's something underneath.
Stop them!
I've been here before.
My mother went down there?
She went down there before she died.
Found it. Dorian is not the curse itself. He was made to bear it. They do not need God. They need an heir who can be made to lose control. This isn't a curse. It's a protocol.
I always believed I killed her.
You didn't. She was trying to save you.
Run! Don't look back!
If Evelyn cannot complete the succession witness, her daughter Rosalia shall assume substitute standing upon adulthood and be listed as co-heir candidate. I wasn't sold into this place.
You were left for this place.
This is not the time to break. This is the time to flip the table.
Now that you know, you can still leave.
My mother died here. Your whole life was buried here. Why should they go on living with dignity?
Then together.
Still got it. They were never feeding a monster. They were keeping me from unlocking the door.
If they learn you can steady me and hold co-heir standing, you become the one thing everyone will want, and want dead.
Then I'd better move first.
I don't think you want to do that.
She hasn't been stable since her mother died.
I heard she's been digging through the archives like a lunatic.
Rosala, everyone is terribly worried about you.
Funny, I'm worried too. Especially for those whose names are about to stop hiding.
Trauma often makes one mistake delusion for truth.
Delusions do not leave original stitch marks. Tampering does. What exactly are you implying?
I'm implying that someone erased a name that should never have been erased.
We cannot wait any longer.
How much does she really have?
If she truly is the key, she must not live to see the inheritance declaration. Today, we do not try merely a woman, but a force that seeks to awaken the curse and corrupt the bloodline.
Since the wedding night, she has searched forbidden rooms, manipulated the master, and tampered with family records. She is as hungry as her mother was.
She never looked like a woman who knows her place.
Maybe she really triggered the curse.
Roselli Wynn, do you admit entering the archives and tampering with bloodline records?
I admit I entered. The one who erased names was not me.
You imply much.
Then let's look at evidence. The registry was rebowed 3 times. First, to remove the joint witness, second, to delete the transferred succession note, and third, to seal it before I came of age.
None of this proves your innocence.
Then let's discuss the medication logs. Why was the master dosed with suppressors and triggers before every curse event? If it was truly a divine curse, why did it require pharmaceutical scheduling?
She only wants to seduce Dorian, seize the estate, and she's responsible for what happened to the previous brides.
You accuse her of enchanting a monster. Yet the people who truly used me as a tool are seated in this room.
Forgery! The dead do not testify.
That's why the living must fill in the gaps. Starting with you. Martha served at the Wynn estate for 27 years. She remembers who had the master bedroom key and when.
Beatrice had the master bedroom key 2 days before the first wife was even buried.
You were not Mrs. Wynn then. On what authority did you have the key?
Your father gave it to me.
And yet you replaced the lock.
You got the key early, changed the lock early, and then the first wife died. That's a lot of coincidence.
Enough! My mother is not a murderer!
Then explain why the first estate transfer after the first wife died bears your counter-signature.
From this moment forward, the inheritance chains of both Wynn and Blackthorn will be re-audited.
Even if I did anything, Evelyn was no saint! She got close to Dorian for her own reasons!
Thank you.
You just admitted you knew about her and Dorian.
You know far too much for an outsider.
Without the original recording and complete documentation, all of this is merely emotion.
Exactly! She does not have the original recording!
Because it has always been with me.
It used to be the wine cellar. Then it became the disposal level.
Can you hold the upper floors long enough?
As long as you don't die down there.
This isn't a collection. Not a curse, a procedure. They sent women down here, then made the monster carry most of the blame. Got you.
I had expected you to be slightly smarter.
Smart people don't arrange evidence like an exhibition unless they're waiting for an audience.
Every bride believed she could change the rules. In the end, they learned only one thing: the manner outlives them.
Then perhaps tonight the rules die first.
Everything I did was for order. Without order, titles, inheritors, bloodlines, everything rots.
Human lives rotted first.
Your mother failed to carry the truth out. So will you.
Rosalie!
I'm here!
Move!
I got the evidence.
It better be worth this life.
Dorian!
Don't stop! Dear God, he's changing! The monster is real!
Get away from him! He'll kill her! The one who tried to burn me alive tonight was not him. It was all of you.
Then let her die in a gown.
Inheritance night. Centennial ball. By then, she'll make the perfect source of the curse.
We get one chance.
Then let them regret not finishing the fire tonight.
Is that Rosalie?
She looks like the Lady of Blackthorn.
I hear she's the source of the curse. The closer Dorian gets, the worse he becomes.
You look wonderful tonight. Perfect for public ruin.
Survive the night first.
The legal team is here. The old servants list is in the antron chamber. We start now.
I did not come here to dance.
What is the meaning of this?
Tonight is not my trial. It's yours.
If you are hearing this, it means they have already failed once.
The tale that a monster groom devours brides was invented. What truly happened was this. Succession was manipulated, and women were sent in as sacrifices, and a boy was forced to become the vessel of the curse.
A recording of uncertain origin proves nothing.
Then what about these? Triggers, suppressors, bride intake records, underground cell numbers. Shall I read them one by one? Dorian was not born a monster. He was turned into a cage from childhood onward.
Turn it off!
Afraid now? I thought you loved the truth.
She's lying! She just wants both family fortunes!
Based on the original audio and the records presented, we have sufficient grounds to freeze disputed assets and initiate criminal investigation.
For years, you feared a monster. But the thing that truly fed on people was the system you tolerated.
The recording is only the beginning. There is one final document that was never made public.
This is the final Blackhorn estate Cadoyot and the original joint succession contract.
If Evelyn Wayne is unable to complete the succession procedure due to a natural cause, her biological daughter Rosalie Wayne shall automatically assume her place upon adulthood and be entered as co-heired to Blackthrough Manor.
She was never sold here as a sacrifice.
She is the heir whose identity you altered, whose standing you stole, and whom you forced back into this house.
Impossible! That document should have been destroyed!
Thank you.
You just saved me a step.
We also have evidence of Vivian Wynn's forged documents, account diversion, and attempted insertion into the succession.
I was only taking what should have been mine!
You never deserved my mother's necklace. And you certainly never deserved my place.
My God, they were really here.
Fire! The old chapel is on fire!
Dorian!
Don't go in! He'll lose control completely!
I'm getting you out.
We get out first. Then we send them to hell.
Beatrice Wynn, you are being detained for suspected murder, document fraud, and inheritance conspiracy.
She is the curse! She ruined everything!
I didn't ruin everything.
Under the original testament and surviving evidence, Rosalia Wynn and Dorian Blackthorne are the lawful heirs and acting heads of the estate.
We tore open the truth. But that doesn't mean the curse is over.
Then we decide how it ends.
From today on, this manor devours no more brides. It only devours enemies.
I'm fine.
You flinch, that's not fine.
Enjoy the ashes while you can.
You're still performing. Cute.
Did Agnes set the fire?
Agnes handled the dirty work. Always did.
That was fast.
Only fools go down with the house.
Rosalie, leave it. That one. I've never seen him inside the manor.
Exactly, that's the point.
If Agnes was only a keeper, who owns the chain?
Someone who never gets ash on their hands.
This wasn't one house.
Her standing is valid.
Finally.
But the estate can't move. Not one account.
Who frozened it? Someone with reach.
Lucian Vale. I solve expensive problems.
Then you must be exhausted.
Stop digging through ash, and your accounts reopen.
You sound less like counsel, more like a leash.
Only if you pull. Monthly. For years.
Tell me you found something useful.
Not useful. Personal.
So that's the hand behind the curtain.
And she paid to keep me broken.
Where is he?
Monster.
My sister came here. She never came home. Then don't waste your bullet on the wrong body.
She should be removed.
No, she stays.
Why? So you can lie prettier?
Come see what they buried, then hate us correctly.
No, she was real to you. Did you know?
Not enough. Never enough.
She mailed this the day before she vanished. I kept it because nobody cared.
That wing was sealed before I was old enough to ask why.
Then we ask now.
You break in a lot for a lady of the house. I redecorate aggressively.
That's not soil.
They farmed it.
I wasn't the first file in the room.
You're late. Name, now.
Elias Thorne, Blackthorne Collateral, the branch your family buried. Dorian wasn't unique. He was the one who lived.
My mother, why was she in this?
Because she found the next phase. She wasn't saving one cursed boy. She was trying to stop a second generation.
Second generation. Children.
She left more than a diary. She left a map.
These were not family names. They were network names.
She found the bigger list before they killed her. If they move to children, burn the whole chain. Someone warned them before I could leave.
She almost got me out. I got her killed.
No. Someone sold her.
This only gets worse from here. Stay out of it.
You do not get to send me home for my own war.
I will not watch her daughter die too.
Then stop trying to make that choice alone. I thought I came here to avenge her. I came here to finish what she started. The one she could not save, I will. The thing she could not end, we will.
You look better than your mother did at this stage.
And you sound like someone who watched her fall.
I watch systems survive. People are usually optional.
The second ritual was never church smoke, it was paperwork. Keep him titled, keep him unstable, keep the estate controlled.
So the monster was administratively maintained.
Not an heir. A cage on payroll. They never meant to cure me.
You're sharper than he is. More stable, more useful. Rule with us, and you never have to fear him again.
Your mistake is thinking I'd become you just to win.
From now on, this house keeps records, not graves. Every ledger, every room, every locked door, opened. Elise Moore, Lila Hart, Marianne Vale, Nora Bell. They were not brides of rumor. They were victims of this house.
We heard them cry. We said nothing.
Silence was how this house ate.
All service chains are dissolved. Agnes's keys, now.
That felt almost like winning. Your episodes are increasing.
Still there?
How bad?
They didn't just break your mind. They left a system in your blood.
So this is where you vanish to when you say you're fine.
You let me build a house with you while you hid the cracks in your bones?
I was handling it.
No, you were deleting me.
If this turns, I become the weapon again.
And your brilliant plan was to face that alone? Again?
She calms the spikes. She doesn't erase the system. There may be one way to cut deeper than the damage. You reopen what Evelyn couldn't finish, the contract.
And if it fails?
Then the cage closes for good. We are not here to strip a title. We are here to protect an estate from instability.
A man can be tragic and still unfit.
Then let's discuss what your dysphoria, your stable system was built on. My sister didn't die of instability. She died because your system needed a woman to disappear.
You don't get to weaponize my history if I hand it over first.
If the throne requires a cage, then the throne is the sickness.
Your response? No more cages.
This is not a wedding. It's a correction. No bride. No payment.
No cage.
No one enters this house as payment again. Then let their name stay.
Stay with me.
They made me a vessel.
Then let this be the last thing they ever keep in one. Then let them hear us.